What's going on, man? Welcome back to the video. Something interesting happened a few days ago. My results was released. My final year results, and I was excited and anxious at the same time because what I would see in that 2 MB PDF would determine the course of my life over the next 12 months. So I was anxious, if nothing more. I mean, of course, I didn't wait. Immediately I saw the PDF uploaded, I opened it the next second because I don't like postponing pain or bad things. Like, if it's eventually going to happen, then let it happen now, Let's face it head on. So I opened it and I saw my results. I graduated. I graduated with 2-1, second class upper, what they call it. And I'm happy. Architecture. It's been a wild journey. And it's been especially weird for me because for the past, I don't know, 6 months, I've also been taking up some side hustles as well as some side architectural jobs. And like 90% of the jobs I have done related to architecture have usually been um, to create working drawings and presentation drawings. And what that basically means is somebody else would design the plan and 3D, and then my job would be to add the dimensions to the drawings so that it can be easily interpreted when it comes to construction. And then for presentation drawings, that usually means making the drawings a bit nicer so that the client would have ease understanding, because not all clients, most clients would have some level of difficulty understanding a plan when it is filled with dimensions everywhere. So the presentation drawings are important. And after doing that day in, day out, over time, I feel like the part of me that is meant to be a designer as an architect is very, 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 very dull. Like, as of now, I feel like a glorified graphic designer. I'm serious. Like, I feel like if you bring somebody from a cyber cafe and you teach them what I know, like you teach them Revit, and you point to them, this is the wall to, this is the dimension to, this is the components, you can just place components there. And let's say, for example, each firm has a certain way that they arrange their furniture. So let's say for living rooms, they prefer a U-shaped layout with a center table in the middle. Kitchens, they prefer L. And then for bedrooms, they prefer the bed to be on a separate wall adjacent to the bathroom wall with a TV/cabinet wall directly opposite the bed. So if you were to hand something like this to that employee, I feel like over time, in a span of 2 or 3 months, they will be able to become very, very good with the software. And putting that aside, let me even mention the AI as well, because imagine if you hand over a floor plan to AI and tell him to dimension it. Do you really think that would be very difficult for the AI? Or better yet, give AI a floor plan and also send it your your firm's standard of operation, like the dimension style and the furniture arrangement as well. Do you really think it will be hard for AI to do those things. In seconds, it has done it. So what does that mean? It means that I need to work harder on refining and sharpening my real architecture skills, which is the actual design. So that's what I've been struggling with. And it has left me feeling very unfulfilled. Because I mean, you start working early in the morning, close at night, and then at the end of the day, I feel very little fulfillment because it's like you have spent how many years? 6 years, TDB, studio, all these complex topics to become what? A glorified graphic designer, somebody whose job is to just add dimension and furniture. And don't get me wrong, I'm very, very grateful. I'm very, very grateful for the opportunity I have because without it, if I wasn't doing these same dimension and presentation jobs, what would I be eating? So I'm grateful for the 22K I'm getting. But still, in the entire planet or earth, human beings are the only creatures that look for fulfillment in the work that they do. So I'm only human for asking these questions. And I'm wondering, because I recently got a job to design a mansion, large mansion, ground floor, second floor, paint floor, luxury, like the whole thing, everybody's dream project. And it's something I've been working on over the past couple of weeks. And every time I come back to that blank page, it's so anxious and scary. I've tried doing so many things, but it's just not working out. It even made me question if I even deserve that second class because after 6 years, I can't even bring out a functional floor plan. I mean, sure, I've been doing some, I've been focused on doing other things, but still, it's no excuse. And of course, there's the easy way out of collaboration and just giving the project to somebody else, let them come up with the floor plan. But that won't do me any good in the long run. It just means I'm avoiding the hard work. So I'm going to use the project to force myself to sharpen my design skills because I feel like that part of me, at least right now, is very, very blunt. Very, very blunt. So yeah, and I was talking to a friend about this and she was reminding me of who is the person that is always doing people's assignments and who is the one that people are always calling when they want to show them a floor plan or something or like a software issue. And she was telling me that it's not that I don't have any ideas when it comes to a project. It is that I do, but I just deem them not good enough. And in that way, I'm stopping anything from working. And it's made me realize that design itself is a process. It's not something you just do at once and then bam, you have a functional floor plan. The step-by-step process, refining thousands of sketches, and I'm trying to get myself to fall in love with that process. And hopefully by the end, I can have a very nice result. For this project, I'm not really trying to focus on perfection, although of course that is the goal. I'm just focused on creating something with my two hands and being able to be proud of the fact that yeah, I designed that floor plan. I'm not just becoming a over glorified graphic designer. Because if I eventually go down this path, like I mentioned, like firms will easily see that it is actually cheaper to even hire somebody, teach them the software, and, and teach them the software and show them their ways of operation. Because for the work, I don't think you really need to have one understanding of architecture, because I just dimensioning and arranging furnitures, and if you have template of exactly what to do, then your mind is not really thinking. Although of course, because of my time in the architecture department, because of my Sharingan eyes, I have the tendency to always look for mistakes and try and find solution for them. Same thing with the AI as well, like the the things I mentioned are something that AI can very very easily do. I'm sure there's like somebody already programming a software or a plugin that you can attach to Revit. So you'll be like, oh, I've already done like the basic floor plan, and then the plugin, the AI plugin, will just take care of it automatically, like automatically add dimensions, bam. So yeah, like do you remember that year where everybody thought the solution to living Nigeria or making money was to learn programming or computer? I don't know, around there. Yeah, that year everybody was like learn this coding, programming, become a software designer or UI UX, and then I don't know, get a job from all these top Silicon Valley companies, and then you have made it. But now, even in America, there's like a lot of people getting fired from their jobs, the Americans themselves, because even them, the companies are giving over all those jobs to AI, thereby saving themselves money. So you also have to think about that in the long run as well. How can you develop a skill that AI cannot take over? Same thing with YouTube thumbnails as well. I don't know if you guys know this, but designing YouTube thumbnails a couple years ago was like an actual job. I swear. Like people will sit down and design a YouTube thumbnail. But now you can just type a prompt into AI and it will give you a very realistic thumbnail, and you can even like refine it, give it corrections. Meanwhile, if you're hiring an actual person, a visualizer to do that, you actually have to pay them for every revision. Same thing with video editing as well. Like there are people, they were podcasters and they will record these 2 hour long videos. And as a video editor, your job was to watch through that 2 hour video and then look for interesting parts in that 2 hour video, add subtitles, add b-roll, make it interesting with some music. Bam, you have a TikTok video. But now there are actually AI websites that can do that completely for you, and all you have to do is pay for a very flat fee. So I mean, like, so what are you doing? What are you doing, really? Failure is hard to explain. Very, very hard to explain. You have to keep evolving, keep learning. Because the moment you stop or acquiesce, you are gone like that. So yeah, that's this week's video. Going to be focused on keeping the videos a lot more simpler now. I've been struggling with malaria and typhoid past couple of days. I'm getting better and stronger. I really didn't want to miss today's upload. Here's to consistency. See you next week.